I thought it was harmless at first. A week-long vacation with my friends, no calls, no texts, no responsibilities. I had been feeling drained, overwhelmed, and honestly a little resentful of the constant demands of married life. My husband Daniel was supportive most of the time, but lately I felt like he worried too much, checked in too often, and hovered over everything I did. So when my best friend suggested I just block him for a few days to truly disconnect, I laughed it off. Until the idea lodged itself in my mind. What harm could it really do? It wasn't forever. Just 7 days of silence. A break from the constant "where are you?" and "when will you be home?" messages. I convinced myself it was self-care. I packed my bags, boarded the plane with my friends, and before takeoff, I hit the block button on Daniel's number. The vacation was everything I wanted it to be. Beaches, laughter, late-night talks, cocktails under the stars. For the first time in months, I felt like myself again, carefree and untethered. Every time I thought of Daniel, guilt tugged at me, but I quickly brushed it away. He'll understand, I told myself. It's just 1 week. But when I returned, suitcase in hand, tan lines on my skin, and a rehearsed apology ready, the house was empty. First I thought he had gone to work. But the closets told me otherwise. His clothes were gone. His shoes were missing. The drawers he always kept messy were empty. The silence in the house was deafening. On the kitchen counter sat a single envelope with my name written in his handwriting. My hands trembled as I tore it open. It wasn't an angry letter. That's what shocked me most. It was calm, almost heartbreakingly gentle. He wrote that for the first 3 days he had been worried sick, calling hospitals, mutual friends, even my family. When he realized I had deliberately cut him off, his worry turned into hurt. By the 5th day he understood. I had chosen a life that didn't include him, at least not in the way a husband should be included. The final lines read, "I won't beg for space in your world. If 1 week without me felt better than a life with me, then I know my answer. I love you, but I'm setting you free. Don't try to find me." I dropped the letter, my chest tightening. Panic surged through me. I called his number, unblocked now, but it went straight to voicemail. His social media accounts were deactivated. His work told me he had resigned. It was as if Daniel had erased himself from the life we'd built together. The nightmare wasn't just losing him. It was realizing how casually I had treated someone who had always been steadfast, reliable, and present. While I was sipping cocktails on a beach, he had been spiraling through fear, heartbreak, and the slow realization that I had shut him out. I spent weeks trying to track him down. I reached out to his old college friends, co-workers, even his estranged relatives. No one knew where he had gone. It was as if my decision to block him had flipped a switch inside him. He wasn't going to fight for me anymore. Every night, I replayed our last conversations in my mind. The way he had kissed me goodbye before my trip, the text he had sent wishing me fun, the subtle worry in his eyes when I brushed him off. I had mistaken care for control, love for suffocation. And in my selfishness, I'd taken for granted the one person who had always put me first. Months have passed, and I still haven't found him. Friends tell me to move on, to accept that Daniel made his choice. But deep down I know the truth. It was my choice that drove him away. I chose silence over communication, distance over closeness, pride over vulnerability. The irony is bitter. I blocked him to enjoy freedom, but now I feel more trapped than ever. Trapped in regret, in loneliness, in the haunting memory of what I lost. If I could speak to him just once more, I wouldn't beg him to come back. I would simply tell him the truth. That I never wanted to lose him, that the silence wasn't worth the cost, and that no vacation could ever compare to the life we built together. But until that day comes, if it ever does, I live with the letter he left behind, a reminder that love, once taken for granted, can vanish quietly, leaving nothing but the echo of what might have been.